Hey guys, so this is one of your homework questions. In this question, you had a point charge Q which was placed at the center of a uniformly charged ring. This is your point charge small q over here, and this is your ring having a charge capital Q and radius r, right? And this charge Q is distributed uniformly over the ring. Now it's mentioned that a small portion of this ring has been cut off. So let me imagine that this small portion of the ring X is cut off. And I think one extra condition which could be mentioned over here is X is far less than R. That is, your value of X is very small in comparison to the radius of this ring, right? You'll see what's the relevance of this condition as we move ahead in this question. So we need to calculate what will be the net force acting on this charge small q, right? Okay, so let's look at this question. It's a standard numerical you'll have in your competitive exams. And that is, now if imagine we have the entire ring. If we have the entire ring right now, we'll say that this entire ring is made up of many point charges. So let me give a general name to these point charges. Let me name them as DQs. We have many point charges over here, right? And now if you have a charge Q at the center, right? So if I consider these two DQs as I've shown in the diagram, this DQ will exert a force on this Q. And since it's positive charge and both the charges are positive, to be a repulsive force, that force will be, let's say, DF. This DQ will also exert a force on this Q, and that will be equal and opposite to this force as well. So this will be another DF. Similarly, you will have this DQ exerting a force on this, that will be in this way. And this DQ will also be exerting a force on this, that will be this way, right? So if we had the entire ring, then I hope you're probably noticing this point already, that your net force will be the sum of all these small forces. But for every DF, you have another DF acting in the opposite direction. So your net force acting on this would be equal to zero, right? So your answer would be net force will be equal to zero, but under a condition that you had the entire ring when the entire ring was present. But as you notice in this question, we're cutting off a small portion of this ring. So let me draw this diagram once again. So we're cutting off a very small portion of this ring in this case. Right, so because we're cutting off a very small portion of this ring, and as I mentioned, the condition over here was X is far less than R. So we can imagine that this is like a point charge which we have over here. So I need to draw a better diagram. So I can imagine that this X portion which I've cut is basically a DQ charge which is being removed. So I'm removing like a very small point charge from this. So now, because this DQ is removed right now, the force due to this DQ will no longer be cancelled out. You'll still have the force due to this DQ acting on this Q right now. So I'll have this force present, but now there's no DQ present over here to cancel out this force. Every other DQ's force is being cancelled out by the opposite diametric element, right? So in this case, where a small portion has been cut off, we can say that a net force acting on this point charge small q at the center is equal to 1 df force, and that 1 df force is due to 1 charge dq. Now, what will this value of dq be? Since charge is uniformly distributed, we can say dq will be equal to q by 2 pi r. This is your charge per unit length. So for 2 pi r length, I had a charge q. So for unit length, I'll have a charge of q by 2 pi r. And since now we're cutting off x length, the charge we'll have on that x length will be equal to q by 2 pi r into x. So value of dq is actually equal to q by 2 pi r into x. So now what will this df be equal to? Now it's just a matter of applying Coulomb's law. So this will be equal to k into small q into dq. But instead of dq, I'll write q by 2 pi r into x divided by r squared. So the expression turns out to be kqqx. So now I'll write k in terms of epsilon naught as well, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. So this becomes equal to qqx divided by 8 pi epsilon naught r cube. 8 pi squared epsilon naught r cube. You had 2 pi's over here, right? So that will be your option number 3. So hopefully this question makes sense. I'll see you guys in the next video.